it going? Good. Good win, by our guys. Good bounce back, which I knew they would. They always respond the right way. We got a good group of coaches too, getting them ready to roll. Things we did well, no turnovers on offense. So that it's been a while since we did that. That was a point of emphasis. Took care of the ball, protected it well. Golf was awesome with it. Smart decisions. Run game efficiency is one of the highest we've had all year. The area where we weren't great was red zone, rushing the ball. But overall, we did a good job. The offensive line up front, Gibbs, the tight ends helped us out. Receivers certainly blocking on the perimeter were good. Had 10 explosive, 9 passes, 1 run. Third down was good, 7 of 12. So that really got us to the point where we were able to score the points that we were. And defensively, shut down that run game, which was going to be a point of emphasis. Got 2 takeaways, back-to-back series, which is huge. We turned those into 10 points. We were good in third down. Now we gave up a couple of that bled into fourth down. But, man, we were in good position a number of times. Had them backed up, long yardage situations. And so we just closed a couple of those out. We're going to be that much better for it. But all in all, I thought the guys played hard. We talked about our identity. Man, it was all over the tape. Guys running, finishing on the football. We were disruptive, and we came away with a W. So really proud of those guys. Offensively, our game balls were St. Brown and Jamo. Both of those guys had huge games, and really it was probably Jamo's best game he's had since he's been here. And I'm talking about from run blocking as well as the pass game, which everybody sees. So that was great. I also thought, the O-line up front, all of those guys, Laporta, talked about Gibbs, did a really good job. And then defensively, Amik, golly, it was great. Him outside, we felt good about that move. And then, moving Branch back to nickel just to give us kind of the best lineup on the back end. And I tell you what, Amik was just outstanding. Covered great all day, but also physical. On the perimeter, the number of tackles and tough plays he made really showed up. He was a force for us, so that was good. And then look, TA gave up that 1 touchdown, but really he had a pretty good game. He really did. He did some things that were pretty good. He challenged out there. Had the play in the red zone, knocked it down. That was good to see. And Ben Neiman, did some really good things. Special teams, Pat O'Connor was a force on kickoff. I mean, he was, the whole game. We had a lot of those kickoffs, and it was hard for them to block him. And he continued on the front side of those to really squeeze it, compact it down, make the plays. Special teams, I thought Zylstra, Vaki, and Craig Reynolds, really did a good job for us there. So that's kind of it. Good win, and now it's in 2 days here for the most part, getting prepared for San Francisco. Going to let the players have off for Christmas, and then we'll come back in the day after and get ready for these guys. So another tough matchup. We know what this was last year when we went out there and weren't able to win. So this will be good. We're looking forward to this.
Dan, you asked a lot of Melifonwu, given the short turnaround from his 14 weeks off. What did you think about the performance, and why were you so confident you could handle that kind of load?
Well, he's just from a physical standpoint of, conditioning, all that. It's not football, but, he's basically been running since training camp because he hadn't practiced. So at least his heart rate's up, his muscles are in tune. And so we felt good about that, and it's really we need him. We got to have him. There is no other choice. There is no other option. You got to be able to go, and so he did. I thought for not have played since training camp, it was solid. It really was. It was rusty. He's got improvement to make. He knows that, and he will improve. But for the first game back, I thought it was a solid performance.
After watching it, what do you think of Christian's game, stepping in for the first time there and playing full snaps?
Another one, I would say encouraging. It was encouraging. I did think he tried to play violent. It was not too big for him. I thought, Frank and Decker and them helped him out, sandwiched between those two. And I thought it was, first time out. He's another guy. He didn't get to play any preseason, rookie, but he's continued to just get better and better on our look team, going against our defense all year long. And so to be able to get him a game, it was solid. It was solid. He did some really good things. So there's certainly something to continue to work with there and improve.
Backups, Coyote, a guy that started last year for you. What did Christian do to sort of leapfrog him when he came back? What did he do to pressure in practice?
Yeah, just the amount of development that took place during that period, knowing we didn't have him in training camp, and you're talking about basically, call it week 3 of the season till 2 weeks ago. I mean, just the level of development has continued to go, and he's a young guy, and it's really, you're not going to know unless you go. You feel like you see the improvement, and the last thing to find out is, can he play in a real game? You feel like he can, and so it was just, we felt like he went there. Yodi has been solid. He's been steady. We like Yodi. We know what Yodi can do, but we needed to find out with Mahogany, and seeing the growth and development, it was time.
And would you expect Graham to be able to come back after a week off?
Yep, I see Graham coming back. I think he's going to be ready to roll, and he's going to slip right back at left guard and start for us. It's going to be great.
Other guys on IR, any people you see starting back this week at all?
Like to, we'll see where Germ's at. He's somebody that's a potential candidate. Jalen Reeves-Maben. We started him last week. He got a practice or two. We're going to get him more this week, see how he feels, where it's at, and he is somebody that could potentially be brought up. It's close. I don't know about this week. It's close.
How much mental have Cam Davis and Terrell Williams been just to upholding the standards of your D-line room?
Say it one more time.
How much mental have Cam and Terrell been to upholding those standards in your D-line room, even as you guys kind of roll a bunch of new faces in there?
Well, that's where it starts with those guys. I mean, it starts with AG, but then those are the guys who work directly with them, day in, day out, meetings, practice field, the whole thing. So both of those guys are huge to the development and the growth of that room, from the vets that have been here to the guys that you see that are playing for us now, that are getting another opportunity. So guys that we brought in, or young players we've had on the practice squad, guys that have been on the roster that hadn't had an opportunity. And so that's where they've done a great job. Terrell, I've known Terrell a long time, and I just think he's an absolutely excellent coach. And Cam continues to grow as a coach as well. And they work well together. And, I think they give our guys the best opportunity to have success in the game, which is what you want.
Roster moves on the weekend. One of those was releasing Brandon Joseph. How much of that was just what you needed on the roster versus the off-field incident this weekend?
Yeah, I think it was the perfect storm is what it was. It was a little bit of both, and it was just the perfect storm of circumstances going into that last game, and so we felt like we had to make that move.
Streak in the league of not having lost 2 games in a row. You touched on it at the top, but what is that quality? What is that quality that this team continuously is able to bounce back?
It's really what all of those guys are. Everybody in this team is made of, from the coaches to the players that we acquire and that we bring in, and it really is because of the people. And so I'm always going to use St. Brown as an example, but getting the bad taste out of your mouth is very important from losing, and cleaning up the errors, and not accepting what happened. It's never a go in the tank, lose confidence. It's you want to compete. And I just think we got a whole group of those guys. That's what we're made of. That's what our locker room's made of, from our quarterback to Frank to Sewell to Deck I can keep going down the list. Defensively, all those guys that are over there, Kirby, Branch, Amik. I mean, we can keep going, but those are our guys, and our best players are our hardest workers, and they're our most resilient players. And usually when that's the case, you're probably going to bounce back.
You said it off the top, you know what happened in San Francisco. We all know what happened in San Francisco. How much do you even have to tap into that this week with just all the other factors you have in play for this season?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think you have to tap into that. I think we know exactly where we're at. And we also know the team we're getting ready to go face. I haven't done a deep dive yet. I know they've had injuries, but I also know this head coach over there is an outstanding coach. They've been running their system offensively and defensively for a long time. This defense is a top-notch defense. They always have been. It doesn't matter where they're at. They can get after the quarterback, they can get after your old line. They run, they hit, they cause takeaways. And offensively, this scheme and this system is they're going to find your weaknesses and try to exploit them. And they'll just keep picking at it until they start getting explosives. They'll lean on the run game and then play pass. So we got our work cut out for us. This is not going to be this is going to be a tough game. And so we know what we're getting ready to walk into, and we know we have to win. We have to win, and it's on to the next one.
That up really quickly. Just in the scenario where Minnesota beats Green Bay, suddenly there's nothing you can do with your seeding that game. It all will come down to Week 18. So have to win is I'm just curious your explanation there. Like, how do you maintain that full bore mindset where maybe that game doesn't matter in the standings?
Yeah, I'll make this easy for everybody. That way all the critics can jump out and start attacking. But that way you don't have to debate them anymore. We're bringing everything we got to this game, and we are playing, and I don't care what it looks like and where it's at or who's this, who's that. We're going out to play and win this game out on the West Coast. So there you go.
Just to piggyback off the earlier question, though, you do mention the last year's loss, and obviously the guys who were there, who experienced that, walked off that field. Is there added motivation? I mean, it's not the most important thing, but is there something there?
Anytime we lose, the thought of losing is going to motivate you to not want to lose again, particularly with where you were at. And so that's always going to bring its own level of motivation to it. But it's also, man, this is where we're at in the season. We know we need another win. We understand where we're at in division and the NFC, and so I think it's all encompassing, And look, most importantly, it's the next one. It's the next one in front of us. All right.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.